Yeah, buddy.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Tony?
You psych yourself up. You ready?
Always, mate. Always. Born ready. Born ready. Born ready.
Let's do it. We're pumped.
That's it, man. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Welcome to the call, everybody. Let's go do a quick round call. We got Tony, Andrew, Carla, Ralph. Ralph, you got anybody there with you? Hey, Kels, Kelly, Attila, and that's it for now. Okay, awesome. So, firstly, I just want to say welcome. For those of you that weren't on last week, you may find this a little bit, I suppose, tricky because it's just like a puzzle. You know, if you start a puzzle, you work from one end, you know what the clear outcome, I suppose, is, and you join the pieces together. And it's no different with this course. The way it's been designed is to go out there and to go from week 1 to week 2, and then apply everything that you learn, and then fold that on to week 3, and then apply everything that you learn. So by the end of week 4, that you're starting to work on a new you. And that's what it's really about. So I want you to really focus on you right now. I want you to pay attention that you're spending your time here on this call. Be present, and be present for you. Don't be present for me. You know, if you're committed, then watch this and put your phone on silent and only be focused on this. And I would say this to you: play full out. Come with an open mind. Don't come with a closed mind. Come with an open mind that over the next 40 minutes, an hour, however long it takes, is that you're here to listen, learn, and go out there and execute. And if you want to take it that one step further, because I know there's some of you on this call that have heard this before, and they've said to me, look, I've heard this all before. It's quite refreshing to hear it again. But it's not about you anymore. If you've heard this before, it's about you learning this so you to go teach this to somebody. And that's where true leadership comes. So if you can take this information and go teach it somewhere else, to somebody else, and add value to their life, this is where you're going to excel and go from strength to strength. So let's do a recap. And for those of you that were on the call last week, I'm going to open up the call one by one. And I want you to share, something that changed within your focus. You know, we spoke about following one course until successful, your attention, your thoughts, your empowering and disempowering beliefs. You know, remember we said thoughts can become things. And when your thoughts become things, we had a plan, and the plan was to obviously go back and write down empowering beliefs, write down disempowering beliefs, and then start to cross out and divorce the disempowering beliefs. Because you're probably focused on the disempowering beliefs, and that's stopping you or holding you back, I should say. Like I mentioned on the last call, one propeller forward, the other one back. You're going around in circles. Going, what the hell's going on here? For some of you are loving it. For others, you've been doing this for a very long time, and it's gonna feel uncomfortable. And I just want you to, pour out your heart and soul, and just if you're, I suppose, if it's okay with you to share, then it'll be great. And I think, through information is when transformation happens. And I'll write that in your notes, guys. And that's why I put it at the top of this page. Information for transformation. Because we get inspired through stories. It's the information that inspires us to transform. Because you hear somebody going through it and you think, wow, maybe I can go and help that person that I met at the gym the other day. Or maybe I can go and help somebody from work. So it's information transformation. Tony, if you don't mind, would it be okay for you to share?
What do you want me to share?
So I was just explaining about what we did.
I heard very well. I heard everything.
Okay, great.
You want to hear my story?
No. I just want you to share what you learned from last week's call and what you actually applied.
Well, man, it's just being focused, and consistently doing the job that we, spread the love. tell our story. You know, a lot of people are not happy in their lives and what they're doing, and it's up to us to help them the same way we've been helped, and spread the love. Just being consistent every day. That's use, wear, talk.
Nice. So did you write down empowering beliefs and disempowering beliefs?
I did.
Okay. And what weighed out more, the empowering beliefs or the disempowering beliefs?
A bit of both, But yeah, I'm getting over the disempowering beliefs, and like you said, just being more positive, and I can do this. And I think I've shared something on Facebook as well recently about if someone's putting you down or whatever, not putting you down, but not on the same page. Yeah, show your success and show it once, put it on once, put it on again, and put it again 3 times. Let the people see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what I want you to do is this now, Tony, is now that you know what's disempowering you, I want you to divorce it.
Yeah.
I want you to divorce it. You've got to let it go.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think along with this journey, I think I've learned a lot about judging and prejudging people. We shouldn't prejudge, never. That's vital for me. Yeah. And you see someone, and straight away we have their opinion. We have the negative opinion, say no, don't prejudge. Never prejudge.
Yep. Yep. That's good, man. I really want you to divorce those beliefs. Thanks for sharing, Tony. We can get Attila. Unmute you. Attila, you there?
Yes, buddy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, mate.
Awesome.
Can you put your video on if you're in a position to?
Yep. Just give me 1 sec. There we go.
Awesome. So do you just want to share with us, from last week, something that you applied, something you learned and you applied?
Yeah. So there was definitely a few things around that obviously just more like how would I say, like a life-changing event. Trying to, as what sort of attorney was saying, it's sort of getting that negative into a positive onset. So that's like, trying to be positive to yourself, like each and every day when you wake up, and you have that high energy, and you just, you get away from all that dark negative energy away from you, as much as possible. So, I mean, not just like for yourself, but for others as well.
Yeah.
Like whether it's family, friends, anything like that.
Can you give us an example of something that's happened?
An example?
Yep.
Yeah, so like, for example, like I've had a few friends of mine, like old friends that I haven't seen for a while, that in the past I've had, like kind of friends, and then sort of had this friendship that's sort of broken down for whatever reasons. And then when you haven't seen them for a while, or when you haven't talked to them for a while and you start talking to them, you try to kind of reconnect their friendship with them. And, it's like small talks, and, they say like, oh, how you doing, all that stuff around, and what you've been up to, that kind of thing, and you want to catch up. So it's just these small steps, even though that whatever's happened in the past has happened in the past, but you want to try to reconnect them, and you want to try to, move on and get them to that positive spin around. So I've had a few friends of mine that have had that, so I've had reconnected with them lately. Still a long way to go, but it's in the positive step at the moment.
That's good. And has anything happened in particular from the things that you learned last week to this week? So like from disempowering beliefs to empowering beliefs, your focus, your thoughts, your attention, was there something you took away from that and applied it immediately into your life, and then it was like, right, bang, this changed?
Yeah, I think there's a few things that has changed. I mean, like I said before, with my positive energy for it, but I think one of the disempowering things that I've had is more like my self-confidence and, you know, just putting on the front foot. So it's not just to me, because I do struggle a little bit in terms of, you know, for my confidence of applying it, my transformation to everyone else out there. So I have a bit of like that, and that's something I have to, you know, work on that, you know, to try and, you know, instead of being like hidden behind, I have to be putting it out front. So that's one of the biggest challenges I have, and it's kind of like, you know, like a bit of nervousness and like, you know, what to do in that. So that's one of the biggest ones I have in terms of disempowering, and that's something I'm trying to divorce out of it. So it's not all the time, but I'd say sometimes when I have this kind of mood, it's just, you know, just sort of taking 2 steps back and 1 step forward kind of thing. So that's one of them. I'm trying to get divorced out of it on that one.
That's awesome, man. Can I help you with something?
Sure. Yep. Absolutely.
Cool. I'm here to give you information, but I'm also here so you can transform. And as a mentor, what I would say to you is stop trying. So you said, I'm trying to do this. Stop trying. Just do it.
Yeah.
That's the physiology. You know, it's the psychology. It's there. That's the first step. Because it's like, you know, I'm gonna bend over and I'm gonna lift this weight. Let me see if I can do it. That mindset is like, I really don't have the belief that I can lift this weight. And then you get to the bar and you're like, you can't lift the weight.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know this because it's happened to me. And this is not just, I'm giving you an example of being at the gym, but this can be like, I'm going to try and go out and grow my business. I'm going to try to go out and grow my business. You're going to try. You know, I'm going to jump off the edge of the building. Remember we were talking about it last week? You know, we jump off the edge of the building and I'm going to hope that my parachute opens. You know, it's the belief, and that's where it starts. And it starts with you, Attila. And I'm not saying that you need to click your fingers, right? And you're going to change person tomorrow. But catch yourself. Create awareness around your language. Because every single person, including me, that's on this call right now, 70% of people actually live in that place. Because you know why? It's because it's comfortable. That's why. It's everything else is unknown, and I don't want to share too much because I'm about to flow into this later in the call. Right? But you start to understand this, and this is what it's about. It's about unlocking your potential. That's what it's about, Attila. But that was awesome taking, man. It really was. And the more that you just go out one more day and you walk towards your goals and you start to implement and put things into place, you will continue to get a result, man. So kudos to you, man. Well done. Really well done.
Thanks, buddy. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Attila. So, Joe, I don't know if, are you in a position to talk or are you driving? Did she just give me the hand? Andrew, did she just give me the hand like she doesn't want to talk to me? Lucky you didn't give me the finger.
No, well, there it is. I'm driving. Andrew's holding the phone. So, yeah.
No worries. Easy done, guys. All right.
You can talk to Andrew because I took him through all of this last night, so I want to see how well he was listening.
I didn't listen, by the way.
There you go. Failed.
All right, cool. All right, guys, drive safely. Kelly and Ralph, don't fight on who's going to share first.
There's no fight. Kelly wants at least half an hour though.
No,
that's okay.
I'll be very quick. I really enjoyed it.
Can't hear you, Kel.
Can you hear me?
Not really. It's very distant.
I'll put it up.
Talk with me.
Is that better?
I can hear you well, Ralph.
Okay, we'll swap. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So I actually had a really good time with this empowering and disempowering beliefs activity this week, because even when you mentioned it last week on the call, I couldn't think of disempowering beliefs or things that I say to myself in a really negative sense on a daily basis. So instead of just coming up with things that obviously didn't mean much to me, I took a couple of days to write down the things that are negative in my mindset or things that I say to myself on a daily basis. And what I found is that I actually, most of the things that, like most of my self-talk is not disempowering, but it's like, has everyone seen like Emperor's New Groove, where there's like Kronk, the big guy, and he's got like an angel and a devil sitting on his shoulders?
Yep.
Yeah. So both of them are my biggest cheerleaders, but which one is stronger? I have a lot of talk in my head that's like, oh, well, you work really hard, so you deserve, and then it might be a couple of beers or a pizza or whatever. Like, you work really hard, so you deserve that sleep in tomorrow, or you've done X, Y, Z, so you deserve. So it's like, both my angel and my devil are like my biggest advocates or my cheerleaders, but it's like one wants something negative for me really in the long run, and one wants the best for me in the long run. And it's just who wins on a daily basis. So rather than it seeming really negative and like I'm not worthy or I'm unhealthy or I can't do, it's like, woohoo, you had a really big day, so you should totally have some pizza tonight. So that's what I found, is that rather than looking at my negative self-talk, I have to look at my reward system. And, you know, my strength in being able to say, hang on a second, if you're working really hard at a goal, like trying to tone up or trying to eat healthier, that the reward is not to eat something that's not healthy. It should be something that supports that goal. So that's what I'll be working on this week, looking at my reward system and how I can turn that into long-term goal achievements rather than something that actually negatively impacts that goal.
I love it. I love it. And that's what it's really about. It's just that focus.
Yeah, it's been a good week. Thank you for the activity. I really liked it.
That's good. I'm glad. And thank you for executing. You know, you can learn everything, but if you don't go out and execute and start to implement, then you're not going to start to work on yourself. So well done.
Thanks.
Ralphie boy.
Yeah. For me, I've got several, but the biggest ones I think in a negative sense that disempower me is my procrastinating and my overthinking. So, you know, for those things are things that I'm working on a daily basis, but they're the ones that generally draw me down and disempower me, and probably then allow me not to do the things that I want to achieve or set myself. So they're probably the primary two. And I've gotten better. I feel like as I've made myself busier and scheduled, and these are the stuff that I put on the empowering side, writing lists and calendarizing stuff, diarizing everything, it's improved that. But I still have a lot more work to do on it, because they're my two primary ones, overthinking and procrastinating.
That's so good, Ralph. It's good that you've identified that, because that's the first part. But have a think about it like this: is procrastination and what did you say? Procrastination and what else? Overthinking. So they go basically hand in hand, right? Yeah. So overthinking something and procrastination. So to go to the next level for you to break free is, I want you to ask yourself is, have you identified yet, because you may know this already, right, what the underlining factor is about that. So like, why are you procrastinating and why are you overthinking things? Have you worked that out, or you haven't asked yourself that question?
I feel like the stuff that if I do certain steps, those things don't happen, and those are the things that are empowering.
So everybody can understand.
For example, doing my personal development on a daily basis. If I do my personal development on a daily basis, I will always start the day right, and I'll always have a good day, always. But yet sometimes I don't do it right, and that's when it falls over. Working with positive people and around positive energy rather than being in around negative people is always a big one that gets me out of feeling that way. Like I said, focusing on tasks and not being distracted by technology or whatever, because I've really tried hard to push away from that, and just like when I'm on it, I'm on it, and when I'm not, I'm not. And like I said, things like writing lists.
So what I want you to do is this, Ralph, because all of them are great, right? I want you to think about it like this, so you can break free. I want you to think about it. If you come to do a task, all right, I'm going to post something on social media.
Sure.
So then you start to think about the content, you think about the image, you think about the time you're going to post it, right? Is it right? Is it not? You start to question yourself, right? So that can be a type of procrastination, right? So if you took all of that away, well, I'm not saying that this happens, I'm just giving you an example, right? But if you took all of that away, what's the underlying factor of what your thought is of posting that? Is it because what people's reaction is going to be? Is it the fear? Because what you tend to find is there's an emotional attachment below the surface. And that's what I'm trying to get at. Procrastination and overthinking are hand in hand and direct proportion to the emotional challenge of fear. You have fear of something. Fear of not good enough, fear of not getting a result, fear of what people think. Is just fear. And fear is just objects that aren't really real.
Yeah, I remember.
That's all it is. But when you just say, like I said last week on the call, when you just say, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to care what people think. I don't care what they say. This is my path. This is what I'm building. This is the legacy I'm leaving behind. This is why I'm doing it, and I'm going. And you back yourself. You believe in yourself.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what's happened in the last couple of months.
I love it. And you know what will excel you to that next level, Ralph, and for everybody else as well. When I'm talking to Ralph, I'm using Ralph as an example. Think about the outcome, not about the process. So it's like, all right, I need to post this on social media. Just get it out there, boom, post it, because the outcome or the result is going to be, more clients for your business. Yeah. So the procrastination side of things as well. Yeah, what am I going to post? Is it the right thing? Is it the right word? Good is good enough. Yeah. Good is good enough. Just get it done. Just get it done. And what you'll find is that in 7 days, if that's what you achieved and you already start to feel better, imagine in 14 days. Imagine in 21. And just imagine the process and that growth and that belief and the more potential you tap into. And it's a muscle. It's a muscle inside the body. And if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, and it's funny because that's what we did at the kickoff with Lisa when she was here, guest speaker, literally on the kickoff. So it was just a reinforcement again. It's like just funny how that happens, the whole speaking to the universe, law of attraction stuff, man. But yeah, absolutely. Amazing. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, man. Thank you for sharing.
No worries.
And I know there's a couple of people that weren't on the call last week. If you want to share, you can unmute yourself, put your video on and share. If not, we're going to get straight into the next section. So it's awesome feedback for me just to see that, is the information that we're giving out there, handing out there, really helping you make change. And today is really about you, and it's about the uncertainty. And it goes hand in hand with everything that you guys were talking about. I just want to move this if I can.
Yeah, buddy, the top of the screen.
I know.
Okay, you can see that. All right, as long as you know, that's right.
Done. Is that better? Ralph?
Yeah, they're cut, bro, bottom and top. Is there a way of reducing the size of your screen, like so that it's like shrinks in? Because I can't see, like under danger zone, you can't see the go to the next slide. Yeah.
1 second.
He stopped sharing and he'll share.
Where's that coming from?
Yeah, I spoke to her today actually. I thought she was getting on, and things getting on in a minute, obviously. Oh, that's better, bro. That's heaps better. That's it.
It's better?
Yep, thank you.
All right, perfect. All right, so certainty. What is certainty? Certainty is knowing something that's going to happen. That's what certainty is. And I want you to write down this in your notes, guys, because it's important to understand this, because this is something that can absolutely change your life. It is an emotional habit, I suppose, if you want to call it, that we all have. We all want to feel the need of certainty. What does that mean to you, the need of certainty? You know, having food, having a home to go to or a roof over your head, having water, like having the bare essentials. That can be certainty for some people. Certainty for some people, they need to know that they've got a job tomorrow. They need to know where they're going. They need to know what they're doing. They need to know what time they need to leave the house. They need to know what car they're going to drive. They need to know what roads they're going to take. So we all need to find a place of certainty in us. Some of us can handle just the bare essentials, which is like, oh, whatever. I got the outcome. I got a roof over my head. I got water. I got food. And they can live with that uncertainty. They're certain with just a minority of items. Uncertainty is like a situation that involving imperfect or unknown information. It's things that you don't know. It's the surprise that shows up. It's the problem that shows up. That's uncertainty. Uncertainty is a problem. And I really want to share with this team is that problems are always going to show up. It's just a part of life. It's how you handle the situation when those problems show up. So certainty is the things that you know, and uncertainty is the things that you don't know. What I want to encourage you to do is identify how much uncertainty you can live with. Because there's no right or wrong here. I just want to know what's number one in this area for you. And I want you to write this down in your notes. Is number one for you certainty? Like you need to know what is happening next? Or is number one uncertainty? Like it's like whatever happens, I'm just going to go with the flow. It's important that you identify this for yourself. Once again, there's no right or wrong. I want you to write this down in your notes because it flows onto this. We are comfortable with the certain things in life. We are comfortable with the certain things in life. And 70% of people, just so you know, if you're in that blue zone, 70% of people spend their time there. And they're just closed. It's like you go to somebody, if anybody's had a new idea, and you go to someone, you're like, this is the next best thing. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to open up this business, and blah, 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 and you're sharing like crazy. And you've gone to somebody, 70% of people, right, that are going to just say to you, whatever, because they're closed-minded. Because they're closed-minded. So I want to help this team. I want you to get into the green zone. I want you to get into the learning zone, where 20% of the people are. That's where I want you to be. That's called the growth mindset. That is the growth mindset. I want you to be with the leaders. I want you to be with the lions, not with the sheep. Sheep's is 70%. The lions are out there. They're going to do whatever it takes. They're willing to get into their uncomfort zone. Because for things to change, we must change. So in the learning zone, in the green zone, there's going to be a lot of uncertainty, just so everybody knows. And I hope you're writing down notes. There's going to be so much uncertainty in the green zone. So if you've ever had a really big idea or a new idea or something that's different and it feels uncomfortable, it's good. That's how you're meant to feel. You're meant to feel uncomfortable. You're meant to feel that, I don't know if this is going to be right. I don't know if this is going to work. That is where you want to live. You want to live in the uncomfort zone and you want to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So important. Write that in your notes, guys. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You don't want to be in the danger zone, where it's not just a closed mindset, it's just a poor mindset. This is like stuck. You don't want to be in that zone. So you're probably asking yourself, all right, how do we go from being in the comfort zone to being into the growth zone? And I want you to write this down. Number one is surround yourself with new people. Because you become the average of the 5 people you hang around the most. Number 2, MIA, massive immediate action. Massive immediate action. Number 3, be willing to be a good student. Be willing to be a good student. Important. You've got to be a good student because you've got to be willing to learn something new. Be willing to be a good student because you've got to learn something new. And the 4th one is these most powerful 3 letters. E-G-O. Ego. Leave your ego at the door. E-G-O. So if you go back and you think to yourself, I'm surrounding myself with a new set of people. They're playing the game bigger than I am. They've got things that I want. And you leave your ego at the door and you're willing to take massive and immediate action. You're willing to learn. You're willing to execute. You're willing to be a good student. Guess what the end result's going to be? Guess what the end result's going to be? A result. The end result's going to be a result. I don't know what the result's going to be, but it's going to be a good bloody result because I don't know what you're chasing. But I can honestly tell you this. If you work in the green zone, you will get a result. You work in the blue zone, I promise you this. You will stay with what you have. Closed mind, not moving forward, same circle. I'm not saying you've got to divorce some people, or maybe some of you have to, I don't know. But I can tell you something, if you're in the danger zone, it's handbrake. It's park the handbrake. And if you can understand this, I'm not saying that we need to be or we have to hit rock bottom before we go into learning zone. You've got to be willing to learn every single day. You've got to be willing to execute every single day. Even when you think that you've got it all, whatever it is that you're chasing, play the game to the next level. Play the game to the next level. Because that's what it's going to make the difference. So being uncomfortable is normal, team. It really is. It's normal. And I hope you can understand that. All right. Let's shift gears. Drink some water. Yeah. 20% mechanics. 20% is mechanics. So it's the understanding on how things work. The manual, if you want to call it. The skill set. You know, if we were going to do a push-up, and I said, all right, go down and do 1 push-up. You wanted to spend 20% of the time going, all right, you basically put your hands beside you, elbows facing back, and go down. 20% of that. You want to spend 80% of the time with your mindset that I'm going to do this. I'm going to go down, I'm going to do 1 push-up. That's just psychology. So everything is a piece of the puzzle, team. Everything is a piece of the puzzle. So I just want to recap on a few things. I just want to recap on a few things that I touched on. So we spoke about your comfort zone. We spoke about the learning zone. We also spoke about certainty and uncertainty. So if you had 80% psychology, do you think you're certain or uncertain? You're definitely certain. You're definitely spending most of your time in certainty. I'm going to do this push-up. I'm going to do this business. I'm going to make this happen because 80% is psychology. You're not trying to scratch your head thinking, how's this going to work? What am I going to say? What am I going to do? So you've got to have that certainty about yourself. And it's going to be uncomfortable because that's normal. But I want you to understand that there's a method behind the madness. You will get a result, especially if you're here. Especially if you're here. 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. Write this down, guys. I'll take a picture. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So do one thing every day that scares you. One thing. Every single day. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. You want to grow? You need one thing. You need one thing that's going to scare you. I want you to take a moment and I want you to write this down, but I want you to write something that you didn't do today that you said you're going to do and you didn't do it because of fear. And be honest with yourself. And maybe if it wasn't for today, maybe another day. We all know something. We all know we're fearful of something. We haven't done something, haven't spoken to somebody, haven't made the phone call, haven't said the words, I love you. I don't know. I want you to think about that. And I want you to write down your notes. Okay. Finding your why. Really important. Write this down. We find more meaning in what we do when we know why we do it. This life lesson, you're going to be able to take this with you for the rest of your life. And if you've heard this before, then write down notes that you can go out and teach somebody else. This is the most important thing in your life. A lot of people say, you know, if your why doesn't make you cry, then it's not strong enough. Or your why is going to be your family. But what about for the people that don't have family? What about for the people that don't have kids? How do they find their why? How do they find their purpose? An interesting story, right? So I'm here down the South Coast with my cousin who's just opened up a business and he's in the landscaping business. And he's going out there and I said, so what are you actually doing? Like, what do you and the team do? And he said, oh, you know, we do landscape, everything from tiling to sandstone to landscaping, like planting trees, grass, all this type of stuff. I said, cool. So you're just another landscaping company. He didn't just tell me why he does what he does. He told me what he does. And I said to him, by asking him a series of questions, I said to him, what is your ideal client? He goes, our homeowners in Mossman, homeowners in the city, high-end homeowners, where we're creating resorts for them. I said, here's what I would suggest. I said, I want you to figure out why you do what you do. What is the emotional attachment to why you do what you do? And he said, I don't know. He goes, I don't know. And I said to him, you know what you do? I said, you create a space for families to create memories for a lifetime. That's what you do. So when people ask you what you do, that's what you say to them. We create a space for families to create memories for a lifetime to come. There's an emotional attachment to that. They're not just another landscaping company. They have a strong reason why. And could you imagine if he went back to his team with his mission statement and he said, this is why we do what we do. And he enrolled the team into why he's doing what he's doing. He would inspire them to work for him, not just for the dollar signs. Because money incentive doesn't last very long. Because here's what you'll find. If you give somebody $1, it'll only be a matter of time before they ask you for 2. It'll be only a matter of time before they ask you for 3. So you've got to help people find their why, but most importantly, you've got to find your own why, or you've got to find your own mission statement for your business. You can do it personally, you can do it for an industry, you can do it for an organization, but find your why. So I'm sure right now, over these next couple of slides, you're going to understand on how to find your why. But before I do that, I've got this diagram. Here's what I want to look at it. I want you to look at it like this. There's you, quite clearly, that good picture, right? The little stick figure. I know you like it, Kelly. And then you've got the blue area right around. Yeah, that's water. And in that water, it's got like crocodiles from Townsville, and it's got sharks from the South Coast, and it's got really, really dangerous creatures, right? And then if you have a look at the outer rim, it's an electric fence. Is everybody following? Yep, it's electric fence. And then you've got the house in the middle. And there's $5 in the house. Here's what I want to ask you. Kelly, there's $5 in the house. House is on fire. Would you get it? No. You know, she's going to go, no, there's no way that I'm going to go out and jump an electric fence, swim with sharks and crocodiles, go into a burning house to get $5. She's like, let it burn. I don't give a crap. But it would change the game if I said, Kelly, your family's inside. The house is on fire. They need you. What would you do, Kelly?
I'd be in there in a heartbeat.
Exactly. You wouldn't even think about it. You would just beat it. You just beat it. It's like, yeah, you're not even thinking about that crocodile. You're like, I'm going to run that risk. I've got the risk of getting electrocuted. I've got a risk of getting eaten by something in the water. But I'm going to get into that house, even if it means I'm going to die. Because there's a deep reason why. It's an emotional attachment that you have. And this is an example of how much of an emotional attachment your why needs to be for you. This is not an example that your family needs to be your why. It's an example of that feeling of somebody you love inside the house is about to burn. That's the feeling your why should be. That's why they say your why should make you cry. When you can discover your why, you will become unstoppable. And sometimes you discover your why and then you lose it along the way. And we generally just lose it because of our surrounding, people around us, people that are either empowering us or disempowering us. So I want you to take that moment and I want you to reflect and ask yourself these 4 questions. What makes you come alive? What makes you like get really, really excited? You don't need to answer these now, team. You can write this in your notes. Number 2, what are your strengths? What are you good at? Like, what are you just excellent at? Number 3, where do you add the greatest value? Family, work, leadership, teams. Number 4, How will you measure your life? How will you measure your life? Will you measure your life with how much money you've got? Will you measure your life with the house you have, the car you drive, the people you've helped, the charities that you've donated to? How will you measure your life? These 4 questions, team, will help you discover your why. I remember when one of my mentors I was working with back in 2014, I was working with one of my mentors, and he said to me, buddy, and this is when I had the construction business, he said to me, all right, so what do you do? And I said to him, so I quote the jobs, I'm on the tools, I meet with clients, I run the team, I meet with my accountant. He says, you basically do everything. And I said, yeah, I do everything. I did everything in my business. He goes, okay, cool. So we're going to put a plan into place and delegate your work. I said, okay, cool. He goes, what do you love doing? I said, I don't know. I don't know what I love doing. I just love business. I was going to him like that. I just love business. I just love doing whatever. So he gave me a task. He said to me, our job was to grow the business, to grow the company. So my task that week, I met with him on a weekly basis and I spoke to him every day. So my task that week was to go out and to connect with architects and basically cold call them, arrange a meeting, get in front of them, and then pitch them on why our construction company should be their, recommended builder, because this is the avenue I was going to go down. So I made it my first connection. And this is the very next day, right? So I made the first connection. I went to his office, I had coffee, and I landed a job. All right, so I got a set of plans. And I remember leaving there, jumping in my car, and picking up the phone and going, you're not gonna believe this. That just happened. I called him this morning. I arranged a meeting. I went there. It was the best thing. I love it. I loved it. And he said, buddy, your part of this business is business development. He goes, you're in the relationships game. He goes, the way you've just lit up and the thrill of the chase of trying to go out there, chase business and then landing it, he goes, that's what you love. That's what gets you really excited, because that's what you should do. You shouldn't be out there quoting jobs, because let's get an estimator to quote the job. You shouldn't invest your time there. So through that story, you've got to discover what you absolutely love. Like you going out there, if I said to you, Tony, you got to go out there tomorrow, you're going to make a new connection at the next soccer club, and I want you to go out there and put your business in front of them. And you like, oh man, I don't know if I can do that. It feels really uncomfortable. Then that's not what you love. You shouldn't do that. Yeah, you just got to find something that you absolutely love. Like something that just gets you so excited that it's just like you're roaring to get out there and do it. And it's like the thing is like this, you got to think to yourself is, it could be something that you're unaware of. But when you take it out of here and you write it down on a piece of paper and you write down these questions and you just brainstorm, the best way that I can encourage you to do this is answering these questions is just going, so what makes me alive? What do I really love? And just keep writing. Just keep writing. Don't stop writing. Don't take your pen off and just keep whatever comes into your head, just continue to write. Continue to write. And I guarantee you, if you could go out and answer these 4 questions, you will discover your why. You will discover your why. You will discover your purpose. You will discover why you're here. We're not just an accident. There's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why you're on this call. There's a reason why we got connected. There is no accident. You've just got to understand what it is. You've got to get clear on that. And once you're clear on what your outcome is in life and what gets you really excited and what your why, what's going to drive you, it doesn't matter what you do. You'll always understand why you do what you do. And you'll just absolutely dominate in any industry. In any industry. Doesn't matter where you go, because you take yourself with you. It's like what I said last week. If you give up on one thing, you got to take yourself with you. You're just going to give up on something else. And it just becomes a snowball effect. Of course, you've seen this last week. It's about taking massive, immediate action. So you write these questions down, and then you take massive, immediate action. You've got to jump. You've got to go all in. All in. You've just got to go all the way. Here's the call to action, guys. Here's what I want you to do over the next 7 days. I want you to focus on certainty. They're the list. You know how you wrote empowering beliefs and disempowering beliefs? I want you to focus on the empowering beliefs. That's what I want you to focus on. The disempowering beliefs, I want you to get a pair of scissors. I want you to cut out of your paper. I want you to burn it and chuck it in the bin. Not a light, because then the bin will go on fire. Disclaimer, do not put things light in the bin. And then I want you to answer. So even if you have your why, I want you to reactivate your why by answering those 4 questions. If you don't have your why and you're unclear about your why or what your purpose is in life, answer those 4 questions. And make it happen. Make it happen. There's a system behind what we're doing. Guys, if you haven't connected with us on any social media platform, please do. We're everywhere. LinkedIn, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. And give us a like. And I'm going to be posting up something up on our social media platform. And if you could, be kind enough, if you want, just leave, a comment or your best taking from what you learned today. Doesn't need to be, a personal experience of like something that you don't want to share publicly. It can just be something that you learn. And if you don't want to comment, that's totally fine as well. But it's there. It's through, remember what we said, it's through information that the transformation starts to happen. It's through information that transformation starts to happen. And that's what it's really about, team. It really is. You want to think to yourself about where you currently are and your commitment in becoming a better version of yourself, and think about where you can be. Think about where you've gotten to in the last 7 days. So just think about that. Your takings, I'm blown away by what you've learned in the last 7 days. Imagine where you're going to be in the next 7 days. And if it scares you, imagine where you're going to be in 90 days from today. But step by step, move by move, you will get the result that you're looking for. Like I said last week, I'm committed. I'm going to show up. I'm going to deliver everything to the best of my ability, to inspire, to provide, so you can go out and execute. That's my promise to you. And you just got to make a promise to yourself that you're going to just do whatever it takes to unlock your full potential. And I don't want you to just do whatever it takes to unlock your full potential over the next 2 weeks. Until. Do it until. What have you got to lose? You've got 2 trains of thoughts, positive or negative. You're in charge of that. You're in charge of the person that shows up in the mirror in the morning. You're in charge of that. You're in charge of smiling when to diffuse a situation. It doesn't matter what situation you're in. It's funny. For some of you know that we're building a holiday house down the south coast. They've nicknamed me on site now the smiling assassin, because I just smile at everybody. I smiled at the gym blocker today. I said, rip down the wall. He goes, are you serious? I said, yeah, rip it down. I'm not happy. He goes, you can't be serious. I said, I'm serious. Rip it down. And I'm just smiling at him. Guess what? He got the shits, but he didn't yell at me. He didn't scream at me, because I made him feel differently. He might have thought, this guy's not normal. Like, he's smiling at me, telling me to rip down my work. But if you smile, it changes the way you feel, and it changes the way people feel about you. This is the most underused part of your body. Your muscles in your face. You walk around like this. You're like, what's wrong with him? Why is he so angry? You just smile. It changes the way you feel. Like, everyone smiles. Does it change the way you feel? It does. I'm not saying just to go around smiling and go, yeah, I'm happy. I'm not suggesting that. But what I am suggesting is taking ownership on how you feel. Take ownership of your emotions and work on them. It's not going to happen overnight. Continue to work on them every single day. Step by step, move by move, and you're going to get the results. So guys, if there's anything else that I can help you with, reach out. Next week, we're stepping it up one more notch. It's just going to get better and better. It's going to continue to get better. So make sure we're on time next week. Same time, same place, same link. Let's make this happen, guys. Like we always sign off, love to all and peace. See you guys.